Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg, and I want to say hello to everyone real quick. And hey, Warren, how are you doing? I hope Chicago's treating you well. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight, yo. Ed Heller, he's got the stream up to 88 miles per hour. Seems like it sometimes. Cowboy Kitty, Daniel Ed Willie. Yep. And Ethereal Willie Popcorn. Yep. Yeah. So I hope every one of y'all are doing well today. And you might already have known this. It came to my attention a few days ago, and I figure, why not make a video about it? So here goes. I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. Like I think y'all don't know. I think y'all do know. Y'all remember Dennis Kucinich, don't you? Former congressman of Ohio, I believe the 10th district. He served from 1997 until 2013. He got gerrymandered out of his district, and I think we all know why. So anyway, he was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, one of the most left-wing voices as a Democrat in the U.S. House of Representatives at that time. Probably then, and I'm emphasizing then as opposed to now as a U.S. Senator, probably as left-wing as Bernie Sanders, possibly more left-wing even then. Give or take. That's how it goes. Anyhow, so basically, Dennis Kucinich ran for president in 2004. He was considered a joke. In 2008, he was considered a joke. I didn't consider him a joke. I thought he was the right man for the right job. We needed him at that point, just as I passionately thought that we needed Bernie Sanders in 2016, 2020. And in 2024, it's a toss-up right now between Cornel West, Jill Stein, Will Stodden, and Claudia Dela Cruz, who are my four choices for president in the year 2024. So anyway, yeah, he got gerrymandered out of his congressional district. They do this to troublemakers. They did this to Cynthia McKinney in 2002. And usually when you get gerrymandered out, sometimes in the case of Dennis Kucinich in 2012 and a decade earlier with Cynthia McKinney, it was because somebody's considered a troublemaker. If you're a troublemaker, they'll gerrymander you out of your district. Funny, it only happens to people on the left. Doesn't ever really happens to people on the right. They will never do that. I don't think they'll ever do that to a Marjorie Taylor Greene or anything like that. Although, well, I know that they merged some districts in Colorado where Lauren Boebert, but the thing about Lauren Boebert is her extreme Republican district got merged in with a slightly less extreme Republican district, but she somehow still won. I don't know they were trying to gerrymander it or that was, her out or what, but in her situation, nice thought though. So anyhow, basically, Dennis Kucinich. He was brave. He's talked about issues that was brave to talk about in the 1990s and the early 2000s, prior to 2015. He talked about anti-war issues. He was anti-war always, consistently. Anti-war, more anti-war than Bernie, more anti-war than the squad. What does that tell you, folks? He was very much that. He talked about the need for Medicare for all, single payer, non-for-profit health care for all Americans, and he was a protectionist. He was for all of these things. And so basically, Dennis Kucinich was the voice of the left back then. Sure, he looked like one of the Keebler elves, and he was considered nerdy and weird, and so then the media either ignored him or they basically they made fun of him, and so that's what happened all that time. So I saw Dennis Kucinich last year at Rage Against the War Machine. I went to the rally against war because I'm anti-war, and he was one of the speakers at Rage Against the War Machine. It's an event that people, the left seems to be kind of at odds with themselves with. I'm talking about the anti-war left, as opposed to the mainstream left that went along with Biden and the mainstream Democrats and the mainstream Republicans in this absurd police action proxy war in the Ukraine. Hopefully that's going to wind down. Hopefully it's going to wind down. Hopefully it's going to wind down. Basically, where I don't care how it's resolved as long as there is a peace and there's no more dying. That's all I care about when it comes to the Ukraine and all that. So, point being, he was one of the speakers at that event, and that was really cool. I wanted to talk to him, but I didn't get a chance to. But hopefully one day it can happen. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play his well, maybe not all of it, but parts of his campaign speech that he made recently. And when I get a chance, I'm going to add his YouTube channel and all other appropriate information down in the description box below. So hold tight here, and we will get started momentarily. Find Mr. Kucinich, and let me make that a full screen. Is it going to be a full screen?
We don't have the industrial strength that we should have. I mean, I was glad to be instrumental in saving that state.
Okay, let me get back to the beginning. I have an ad blocker, but if you see an ad, disregard it. I'll get rid of it real quick. Hopefully not.
Fine facility available in this morning. I have
Let me get way into the beginning. Sorry about that. I had it at the beginning and scroll right in the middle. What the hell? Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here and express my appreciation to the City of Independence for making this fine facility available in this morning. I have a few introductions to make before I start. I, of course, want to introduce my wife, Elizabeth, who's been with me on this journey for so many years and whose partnership is absolutely indispensable to every day of my life. I also have other members of my family here who wanted to be present at this news conference. My brother Gary Kucinich is here, my sister Terry and her husband Marty, and I want to thank them for being here. I have other members of my team here, including my campaign manager, Rhonda Rohrbacher, Treasurer John Sullivan, Head of Research Dave Kelly, and Head of Press Person Lisa Cassini, who some of you have been in touch with, and other members of our campaign staff. I want to thank each and every one of you for your attendance here, and let us, and also for those people who are watching on live stream. So we're ready to go. The Bible teaches us that a house divided against itself cannot stand. Abraham Lincoln warned almost 166 years ago about the dangers of political polarization, how it could collapse our nation. Washington, D.C. is today a house divided by partisanship, by special interest groups, and by war. Sharp divisions are seen within the parties and between the political parties, often producing gridlock, which is dangerous to our national security. Members on both sides of the aisle are engaged in partisanship so bitter and so divisive that the American people are losing faith in their government. Partisan battles are diverting attention away from the real needs of the people. Service to our nation must be superior to service to a political party. Matters of great economic importance to the American people, war, inflation, the deficit, the cost of food, shelter, energy, housing, childcare, education, and retirement security are affecting every family. The people's economic concerns, national and border security, will be the focus of our campaign and of work in Congress. I'm announcing my candidacy for the United States House of Representatives from Ohio's 7th District as an independent, because I'm uniquely able to reach in and to help heal the partisan divide, to bring people together, and to help reestablish the sense of unity, which is the essence of who we are as the United States.
I know that sounds like an odd statement coming from him because the Democratic Party was even not too particularly giddy about his campaign for president. They either wrote it off or disapproved. But it is true that he can reach out to people, because I know Republicans that respect this Kucinich. They don't agree with all his ideas, and I'm not going to sit there and say, well, you scumbag, what have you. I mean, they like certain things that he stands for and all of that. And he had a good partnership with former Congressman Ron Paul, who I respect. Do not agree with, obviously, his economics. Do not agree with him on many social issues, but there were issues of overlap with Ron Paul that actually overlap with the basic politics of Dennis Kucinich, and such as their opposition to war, their defense of civil liberties, like their opposition to the Patriot Act, and later on the National Defense Authorization Act of, I believe, 2011, or 2012. I think it was 2012. That was also a big clampdown against civil liberties. So there are areas of overlap where I guess you could say that the libertarian right and the libertarian left basically can agree. And this is why I don't really, depend on the libertarian I talk to. I mean, if they're okay with, if they disagree with my basic economics, but there are areas where we can agree, like opposition to capital punishment, opposition to war, opposition to the surveillance state, large aspects of the military industrial complex, things of that nature. If we're on board when it comes to Julian Assange in particular, then we can kind of overlook whether we should have healthcare or not. I mean, we don't have healthcare for all. So, I mean, it's not going to be like, well, I can't work with you because you don't like unions or you don't like universal healthcare. We're nowhere in any particular situation where that could be reachable. But areas where there is a realistic chance to get certain objectives done, I like the fact that Dennis Kucinich was a coalition builder in that regard back in his day. So I'll let him continue.
The 7th District is familiar territory. I represented over 20 Cuyahoga County communities in that district for 16 years, constituting approximately 45% of the present district. Except this time, only my name will be on the ballot. No label, just Dennis J. Kucinich. I have a bond of trust with the voters, which goes far beyond party labels. Throughout the years, I formed a working relationship with every community without regard to partisanship. As a result, we were able to achieve great things: saving Cleveland Steel Mill, saving a community hospital, diverting potentially dangerous rail traffic away from heavily populated areas, saving defense finance jobs, protecting the NASA Glenn Center, and more. There are generations of people who live in the 7th Congressional District in Cuyahoga County and beyond, whose lives were helped by my political independence and by the service-conscious work of my congressional staff. This moment is crucial. America is at the threshold of a wide war in the Middle East. We have a $34 trillion budget deficit, which portends approaching fiscal ruin for our nation. My experience in rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse will help protect the U.S. Treasury. My experience in protecting America from foreign entanglements is crucial. Now, many of you in this room will remember that in the wake of 9/11, I warned against venturing into war in Iraq. Had the administration and Congress listened then, America would have saved the lives of thousands of our brave servicemen and servicewomen, spared the lives of 1 million Iraqis, prevented the waste of over $3 trillion, and slowed its involvement in further wars in Afghanistan, Libya, and Syria. I've demonstrated proven foresight in matters of international affairs, as well as the domestic economy, which I will bring back to Congress to help both Democrats and Republicans alike to think anew about America's challenges. Now more than ever, America needs in Congress persons of experience and integrity, individuals of goodwill and political experience to guide.
And he's got the political experience right there, and he is right what he says about our military industrial complex, although he didn't use that phraseology, and what he said about the Iraq war, because he was one of the people that was warning what an impending disaster it was going to be. And we all know now, and it's not controversial to say, gee whiz, that the Iraq war was a mistake. I remember back in 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, having jackasses tell me, there were weapons of mass destruction. I know that Saddam Hussein got weapons of mass destruction, and he was sitting there just fraternizing with Osama bin Laden. This sort of right-wing tripe that used to come out of the Rush Limbaugh shows and Fox News, and to a lesser extent, CNN and MSNBC. So, it got to a point where people by 2006, 2007, 2008, the majority of the people was like, no, this war fucking sucks. George W. Bush fucked this country, and he did, and we are living right now. You want to know why America is a shithole today? Is the repercussions of the Bush-Cheney presidency, and Dennis Kucinich was everything that Bush and Cheney, he was everything that Bush and Cheney would oppose. In the interview with Keaton Weiss the other day on from Due Dissonance on my show, he basically said that the Bush-Cheney years elevated a lot of fascism and on a real serious scale, policy-wise, in ways that was cartoonish under someone like Donald Trump. Not to sit there and dismiss some of the not problematic, but alarming things that he says on occasion. But our road toward fascism, and I'm not saying we're a fascist society yet, but our road to fascism started back after 9/11 with the Patriot Act and the Department of Homeland Security, and with torture in Guantanamo Bay, and basically a government that's put us under surveillance. And look at the corporations today; they are also putting us under surveillance. And we got to go and watch our words and everything. And when I hear a certain segment of the political culture war crowd, I'm not phrasing that right. When we hear, I'm going to say it flat out. When we hear the right wing culture warriors talk about impending totalitarianism, therefore that totalitarianism, however, where they are correct about the totalitarianism goes back to Bush and Cheney. They invented this shit. They cater it. They groomed it. And here we are in the cusp of it. And people like Dennis Kucinich warned us about this shit back then too. So anyway, I will let him continue.
Guide our nation through this difficult time. In a closely divided Congress, as an independent, my voice and vote will become pivotal. The 7th District of Ohio will become one of the most important districts, and members of both parties will be well aware of the needs and priorities of my constituents and of the people of Northern Ohio. I have the experience and the energy, the knowledge and the temperament, and the willingness to serve our community and our nation once again, to help heal the divisions in our nation, by thoughtfully engaging individual members across these political spectrum on a daily basis, as I did in the past. I look forward, once again, to meeting the people across Northern Ohio, young and old, to visit them in their homes and neighborhoods, in cities, suburbs, and rural areas, in farms and factories, in their places of work and worship, where they meet and play and go to school. This is a people's campaign. So I ask for your involvement. Please go to Kucinich.com to see how you can help. That's Kucinich.com. My public service has been an active expression of the tradition of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I believe that trust in the goodness of the American people is key to restoring people's faith in government and sets us on a path to unity. People know I can be trusted to stand up for their interests. God, our community, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I will put down the full speech that he, because there's more to that speech. But I'll put down the full speech on the at the description box below. But here we are. Let's see here. I just decided in the last minute to go ahead and put his website up here. So, and here is here it is, Kucinich.com, and just go ahead and check it out, because I'm gonna tell y'all like it is. I support Dennis Kucinich, especially as an independent, and considering how brave he used to be to take the issues that was considered politically taboo. The fact that he's returning is what we need in DC right now, because really, honestly, there's nobody in DC to represent us, the people. They are represented. Both parties are represented by corporations, and and they use wedge issues to divide us. And we need somebody that's going to bring people together. Now, I'm not saying that Dennis Kucinich. I'm not talking about Dennis Kucinich in a cult or personality sort of way, but I'm talking about based on policies that he advocates is what we need here today, here in America. We need that now. So I hope everyone will go and check Kucinich.com and just do what you can to support them. I live in North Carolina. I can't really go up to Ohio with work schedule, finances, what have you. I can't really go up to Ohio to help out. But if anybody, well, for example, anybody who can reach him to try to go and use independent media to our ends and our aims to promote his campaign. So I urge each and every one of you to, if you could, just contact him. I did. I am waiting for a reply. So I'm hoping to get him on my show. So that's what I'm hoping for right now. So, but right now, as I said, he's what we need right now. Or we need people like him, shall I say? We need people who's going to be for the people in this country, for the workers, for those who doesn't have a voice, and those who wish for a foreign policy based on peace and cooperation, and not based on sanctions or military or fighting, or war or what have you. Oh, and that's another thing. At a time when it was really unpopular, and it's not really popular in Congress still, sadly enough, but he's a supporter of the Palestinian cause, and he supports a two-state solution, and I know he's delicate with his words when it comes to criticism of Israel, but he's definitely a voice for the Palestinians. So if you care about the Palestinian cause, Dennis Kucinich just demands the support. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to go share this with you all, and just let everybody know about his campaign. So anyway, what else is going on? Basically, I'm going to sign off real quick, but let me just say this, that I between now and Friday, I probably will do another live stream tomorrow. I'm trying to stream more, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Also, there's Braglands on Friday with Jimmy and myself. We're going to be doing that, and I'm going to try to do a live stream on Saturday. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do more live streams. I kind of went on not on hiatus, but my schedule and everything is kind of I've just been ultra tired. So because I haven't had a time to breathe hardly. So anyway, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment anyway if you disagree with what I have to say. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Also, in addition, to remember to always reject corporate media, because they don't have a damn thing to offer to us. Free Assange, free Palestine, free healthcare, and free speech. Y'all take it easy. We will be back again soon.